Hi and welcome to my channel, and this is going to be a kind of walkthrough tutorial on how to solve the sun mum cube. And hopefully we're going to get all the difficult situations in this solve, so I could show you everything in case we end up not getting certain parities or whatnot. Then either I'm going to create them in this video to show you, or I'll just post a separate video to show you how to deal with that. Okay, so as you can see, it's fully scrambled, and at this stage the first general step is to get it back into cubic shape. And this step basically includes two steps within it. So getting it back into cubic shape, what you have to focus on is these inner edge strips right here, and making a cubic basically with them and the corners as they correlate to one another. So basically you kind of ignore these center pieces and these edge pieces because they interchange with each other, and so they could deceive you into thinking that you've gotten into cubic shape, and then you could end up with a situation where you have a few of these inner edge pieces protruding, and it's going to be difficult to figure out. So first you try to see if you could just get like a single face or a few faces that are fully cubic and put them opposite each other. Okay, so for this one, once I said if we ignore the edge and center pieces, you can see this is a fully cubic face basically based on how these inner edges are when compared to these corner pieces. Now let's look at the other one. Okay, so this is mixed up. You can see one edge piece is flat, one is sticking up. I'm talking about the inner edge pieces. Now we have this situation. So to fix this, so let's see. So let's bring this down 45 degrees. Turn it 90, bring it back up in order to maintain that bottom face that we've just pointed out. That's that. Also to fix this situation, we do the same thing. Bring it down. 90-degree turn, back up 45 degrees. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to put two properly oriented faces as far as the inner edges are concerned opposite each other, if I could get that. So I have one face like this here, and I have one here like this as well. So I see that if I swap out this inner edge piece with this one, then this face is going to be good as far as the inner edges are concerned. So the way we do that is you turn it off center 90 degrees like this, do a 180 turn, and return it back 45 degrees. And now this face is, you could see the inner edges are flat, and the opposite, same thing. Once again, we're ignoring this edge piece. We're going to swap that out later. Now, so we have those two centers on the sides where the inner edges are good, and now we focus on the middle layer and we see how many protruding edges we have. And I see on this face we have one that's sticking out, whereas the other one is flat. Same situation on this one. One is flat, one is sticking out, and same on this one. We place them all oriented the same direction. You see, like horizontal like this. Same here, just one, and same here. So basically we have a total of four. Total of four of these edges on this inner vertical strip that are basically protruding. And so the way we fix this situation is as follows. We're going to put two of the four on one of the outer edges and one of the outer centers that have these inner edges, and then I'll show you what we do next. So bearing in mind that on the right and on the left we have these centers with the fully flat inner edges. And so for instance here we have one that's oriented like this. So let's turn it in this direction, vertical like this, because we're going to put it into there. We're going to swap it out. So turn this 45 and this 45 degrees, do a 180 turn, and then return the top and bottom layers. And so we've just placed one of those inner edges on the right side face. Now we have to put one on the left side face as well. Actually, I don't think it matters. I think we could put the second one either on the right or the left. It doesn't matter, but for the sake of simplicity, let's put it on the left. Okay, so we position it, and I'm kind of going through this fast because if you're solving this cube, you're probably pretty experienced with solving puzzles. You definitely know how to solve a 3x3 and larger cubes and other puzzles as well, because this is definitely an advanced level puzzle. So, okay, so once again, we're going to put this protruding edge on the left side face. And the way we do that, we basically turn it off center like this, the bottom and top. We can think of it as turning the middle layer. Okay, and then we do a 180. Make sure nothing is blocking us. Okay, 180. We turn it back. Turn it back. Okay. Let me just make sure I flip the right one. One here, one here. One here. Let's see. I think I flipped the wrong one. My mistake. Okay, so this protruding edge, I'm going to put it on this face. So turn like this, like this. I think something's off. If you see, even I lose my perspective on this cube sometimes. Okay, once again, let's go through it again. So this is our central strip. So we have this one protruding, 2 protruding, 3 protruding. This face has none of them protruding. On the left, on the right side, we have one that's protruding, and on the left, we have none that are protruding. Okay, so I want to take this one that's protruding and place it onto the left face. Okay, so turn the top 45, turn the bottom 45, 180, back, I think I overturned it, my mistake. Okay, like this. You really have to keep your perspective on this. Okay, now we have one protruding inner edge on the right face, one protruding inner edge on the left face, and the same on this central long, like this strip all the way around. We should now only have 2 protruding edges. So we have one here and we have one here, and the rest of these inner edges are good. So what we do now, turning these edges, the actual edges, turning all them all like this in a horizontal fashion. This one is good as well. What we do now is, if we hold the cube like this, we're going to do an M+. What that means is the entire middle layer, we turn it up 45 degrees as such. In doing so, we've essentially put in those 2 edges that were protruding. Now they're basically correct. And the other edges, the other 6, are now all protruding. So we now have 6 protruding edges by doing that 45-degree turn. If you look at this, once again, ignoring the centers in the edges, we're only focusing on the inner edges as they correlate to the corners. You see we have 2 protruding here. We have 1 protruding here. That's a total of 3. 2 protruding here. So that's 5. 1 protruding here. That's 6. So now the faces that have only 1 of these protruding, we put those protruding ones from the sides back in to the central line, basically central layer, so that we have a total of 8 protruding. And then we're going to show you the next step. Okay, so I want to put this protruding inner edge into this face. So I turn it like this with this protruding one on the left side and the flat one on the right side. And this face, I turn it like this with the protruding edge closer to this side and the flat one away. And from this position, I turn the top and bottom 45 degrees off center, do a 180, turn top and bottom back. Now this center has 2 protruding edges. Now I turn it back like this, so this actual edge is oriented in a horizontal fashion, like this. This is all flat now. Now, this is the other face that has 1 protruding edge and 1 flat edge. And I do the same thing here, except I'm going to exchange it from this side. And so I turn it like this, 90 degrees. So the protruding edge, I want it to stay here, and it's on the right. The flat one, it's on the left. And I turn this face in a way where the protruding inner edge is closer to this face and the flat one is away from it. From this position, without losing my perspective, I turn the top and bottom faces 90 degrees. I think something is blocking me. I think it was that face. Sometimes you're gonna get external bandaging, so you have to orient it accordingly. Okay, so once again, I want to swap this protruding edge with this flat edge. So I turn top and bottom off center 45 degrees, 180, back, back. Okay, so now this face on the left has two flat edges, inner edges. This one has two flat ones. And the middle slice has all of them protruding. And we turn them all properly correlated with one another. You can see like this one is horizontal, this one is horizontal, this one, and then we turn this one and this one. In doing so, we're mostly ignoring these actual edges and center pieces. Okay, so now that we have that, we've oriented. We do M minus or M plus, basically turning the middle layer 45 degrees. And we fix the entire situation. Now all of the inner edges throughout the entire cube are flat. If you look, these two are flat in correlation with the corners. These two are flat in correlation with the corners. This entire face is flat. These two inner edges are also flat. On the right side, you can see also flat, and on the left side, they're also flat. So that's the step one of getting it back into cubic shape. Step two of getting it back into cubic shape is simply swapping out these edge pieces with the centers, and that's fairly simple. The way we do it is, you see we have one here, which is a center piece that belongs in that's in an edge position, but it belongs in the center position. And here we have an edge piece in a center position. So what we do is bring this up like this, 45 degrees into the top layer. I'm going to swap this one with an down, down, up, up movement, starting with the front face. So we do down, down, up, up, and then we undo that 45 degree turn that we did. And we swap them, and we'll continue doing it the same exact way. You see, put this center up here on the top layer. We're going to swap it with this piece, so we bring this up 45 degrees like this. Down, down, up, up. Return it back from the 45 degree turn we did, and we continue on. We turn the entire cube. We have this one. I'm going to swap with this one. Bring this up. Down, down, up, up. And we just have one more left. One more set to swap. This one with this one. Bring this up. Down, down, up, up. And you can see we have returned it to cubic shape. Now the second general step, or you can think of it as a third step really, we're going to do a test 3x3 solve to check if we have parities. The main parity we're checking for is the PLL parity, which is when you have two edges swapped, or if you fix all the edges, then you're going to have two corners swapped. On this cube, you could also get a parity of a single flipped edge, and that doesn't matter at this stage, because that we focus on the very, very end after we do the 3x3 solve, and that's very easily fixed, which I'll show you later on. So this we don't care about if a single edge is going to be flipped. Okay, so first thing is we have to actually place the centers, because it's kind of similar to a 4x4 cube, where the centers could swap with each other. So you do have to solve the centers first, and you do have to know your basic color scheme, or if you don't know it, then you have to use one of the corners to fix it. So I'm gonna start with the green, for instance. I know blue should be opposite green. I have the blue here, so I want to put the blue one here. The way I do that is I turn top and bottom off center, and you could think of it as I'm turning the middle layer off center, but the reason I say top and bottom is because I want to keep holding it this way without like turning the actual cube. So okay, so from this position I do a 180 turn and I place this blue one here. I bring it back into cubic shape. You see I have blue here, I have green here, and next in my case I do know the color scheme, what it should be. I know, okay, I have red here, white is here, it's good. orange and yellow. So I know it's already fully solved. And like I said, if you don't know the color scheme, you can use the edges, the corner pieces to guide you as far as which centers belong where. So now I start with the actual test 3x3 solve. And so I'm going to start with the green side, the green center here. So I've yellow. Okay, so this is pretty much 3x3 stuff. I'm not going to explain it. Okay, so I have my cross. If you're ignoring like the inner kind of edge portions, I have the cross, and now as you can see, white with white, orange, orange, yellow, yellow, red, red, and it's all green on top. Now I put in the corners. It's all 3x3 stuff here. Okay, I've put in all the corners, as you could see. Now I flip the cube. I'm going to put in the edges on the second layer. Okay. Okay, so I've put in all the second layer edges. Now I place the top layer edges. They're already all oriented properly, and for now we don't have the single flipped edge parity, but we could still get it after we reduce the centers, and I will show you how to deal with that later on. And okay, so still on the 3x3 stage. I've put in all the edges. Now to put in the corners. I'm actually hoping we do have the parity so I could show you how to fix it, and I think we do. Okay, so even though all the edges are in place, if you look at the corners, you could see this one is in its proper place, red, blue, and white. And you see the center, red, white, blue. So this one belongs here. This one does not belong here because it has a yellow and a white position, even though, and also has the red. So this one, you could see it's fully oriented in its proper place. So basically, we have a situation of two swapped corners. And if I fix all the corners, I'm going to have two swapped edges. So this is a PLL parity, and I'm very glad that we got it so that I could show you how to deal with this situation. And it's actually very intuitive, and I got this method from, I believe, Kilo Cube's channel. And the thing is, in his video, he shows how to do it, but he doesn't talk you through it. He doesn't give any explanation, so I had to watch it a few times to get what he's doing. But I do give him full credit for this method, as I don't know where he got it from, if he came up with it himself or he found it somewhere, but I got this method from his video. And what I love about it is, as I said, it's intuitive. You don't need any new algorithms besides those that you know. Essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to swap out all of these edge pieces with the centers on the middle layer. And then we're going to refix the cube back. So okay, so the way we do it is as follows. So we hold the cube, and it doesn't matter what's your top layer, what's your bottom layer. You could hold it with the top as the top, doesn't matter. Okay. And so the first step is we turn the middle layer off center, whether you do an E plus or an E minus turn, whichever way you turn it. So let's say, in my case, I turned an E minus. E minus means counterclockwise, 45 degrees. The reason I know some people say E minus should be the other way. When I turn an E, the equator, the middle layer, the turns that I do for it, I correlate that with the upper layer. So if I do a U-turn, when I turn an E turn, I do it the same as I would do the U. And the same with the middle layer. When I turn an M turn, I correlate that to the right side. Okay, so in this case, I did an E minus, which is counterclockwise towards the right, 45 degrees. From this position, we're going to do a down, down, up, up movement with the right and the front face. And we're going to start with the right. So we're going to do right down, down, up, up. We started with the right one. Now we turn the middle layer 45 degrees in the same direction we did before. So that's towards the right, another E minus. And now we do again down, down, up, up, but now we do it from the front. So we do front, down, up, up. And that was one set. And we have to do 4 of these sets. So again, E minus, make sure I align it properly. Okay, E minus. Now again, we do it from the right side, down, down, up, up. So right, down, down, up, up. Another E minus. And now from the front face, front, down, down, up, up. That's 2 sets. Now we do another E minus. Now we do it from the right side. Right, down, down, up, up. Do another E minus. Now we do it again, down, down, up, up from the front face. Front, down, down, up, up. That was 3 sets. One more final set. E minus from the right face. Right, down, down, up, up. Another E minus. Now we do it from the front face. Front, down, down, up, up. Okay. Now we continue holding it in this position. We do not move it back into a cubic shape as far as the edges and centers are concerned, because if you could see, look at these inner edges, they're actually all solved now. And they're all flat in correlation with the corners, as I showed you in the beginning, even though all these centers and edges are swapped out. Okay, so what we do while holding it in this position, we do an M turn, which means we turn the entire middle layer 90 degrees up, like this, into the top, and into the bottom. It's going to bring that one into the bottom as well. So now we have, in our middle slice, we have 2 such faces that are fully solved like this. You can see this one here, and opposite it, you have this one here. So we hold it like this, and from this position, we're going to be doing the following. Okay, so let's see. So temporarily, we're going to also do 90-degree turns, as such. My mistake, 45-degree turns. And we're going to be swapping out without affecting these flat faces. These, we cannot break them apart. We have to keep them as they are. But if you look at this piece, it's protruding now. Even though it's technically solid, but it's protruding. What we're going to do is we're going to swap these protruding ones from the middle slice with the flat ones from the top face. And the way we do it is as follows. So we turn the top face like this. So this edge piece is like horizontally oriented. So we could swap it out like this. And we're going to do a deconstructive move on this face like this. Turn this like this. Bear in mind that when we do this, we break apart this face and we're going to have to fix it back. You see this piece right here? Going to have to fix that back. So deconstructive move like this, bearing that in mind. We're going to swap this top protruding inner edge with the flat one from the back. And the simple algorithm to do this is M plus, bring it up 45 degrees, 2U, M minus, 2U, M plus, 2U, M minus. That's it. Now we undo that deconstructive move we did to reconnect this face, and we continue on. Also, this face on this side, we do not want to break this apart. We have to keep it intact. And so let's see. We want to swap out this protruding inner edge piece with that flat one back there. So we turn that back there. Do a deconstructive move here to bring this over here. I'm going to swap this one with that one right there. Okay. M plus, 2U, M minus, 2U, M plus, 2U, M minus. Undo the deconstructive move we did to reconnect this face, and we continue on. Now the top is all good as far as the inner edges, so we could flip the cube around, bearing in mind that we don't want to break this apart and we don't want to break this apart. And we continue on, 2 more swaps to do. So this one, we want to swap with one of those on top. So we turn this like this, swap it with that back one, do our deconstructive move, and do our algorithm to swap this piece with that one back there. M plus 2u, M minus 2u, M plus 2u, M minus. Undo our deconstructive move right here, and one more right here. So we turn the top, we have that flat one back there, we're going to swap that flat one with this protruding one. Turn this up, do our deconstructive move, and M plus 2u, M minus 2u, M plus 2u, M minus. Undo our deconstructive move, and as such. Now, the next step we do is we orient. You see these pieces on the top face that are protruding like this and on the bottom? We orient them like this in conjunction with these flat ones, because you see the rest of the cube on this middle slice is like different than these flat faces right here. Once we've oriented this and this like this in this specific fashion with this centerpiece, we do an M turn, doesn't matter which way. We've solved this inner layer, and now we simply return it to cubic shape. And guess what? The parity is now gone. You're going to see it, and then once I resolve the 3x3 portion, I don't need to do any more test solves now because I know the parity is gone. And now we simply do our reduction of these centers. And as far as the single flipped edge, if that happens in the end, we fix it in the end. We do not try to find it and fix it now, because as you swap these centers and everything, you could still end up getting it. So, okay, so this stage, let's start with my favorite color, green. And once again, you don't need any algorithm for this. It's all intuitive reduction, kind of like you do with a 5x5, 6x6 cube, you know. Okay, so I want to put this. First thing I want to do is get a block of center with a little strip like this, and I already have that. And I want to connect this piece to one of these strips right here. So I put, for instance, a strip like this. Let's see this one on top, and this is on the bottom. So that when I flip this portion, this is going to come up on top and match with this. And so I have this on my right, this on my left. I turn the top and bottom off center like this, and I do a 180 turn, return it back to cubic shape, and you could see it connected this piece here. And I continue on the same way. And so I need to build another strip like this to connect it to this. So I have these pieces here, and let's see. So okay, I bring this one right here on the bottom, and it's gonna go up and meet with this one that's on top. So I have this little piece on top and this one on the bottom, off center, 180 degree turn, back to cubic shape, and I have this strip. I put this strip right here on the outer part in conjunction with this piece, and I turn this piece so it's on the bottom here, on the inner side of it. So when I turn it in, it's going to match up with this. And off center, 180 turn, and back to cubic shape. And you could see I have this here. Now I'm going to build an entire strip of green, and I'm going to connect that to this. Let's see. Okay, so I have this piece here, this green here, off center, made this strip. I need to make an entire strip now to connect it to that. And so I position this so it's on the inner side of the center as connect, and it's going to connect to this on the bottom. So this is on top right here, and this is on the bottom here. 180. I mean off center, and then 180 to make this strip right here. And now I bring this entire central piece here towards the inner side of this, and this is on the outer side, And then when I do the off-center turns with the 180, it reduces the entire center. And it's pretty intuitive the entire way around. So I might even fast forward it throughout the video. And so let me show you another one. Bearing in mind, when you reduce these, you have to do it according to the proper color scheme. So for instance, green is going to be opposite blue, and then all the other colors, they have to be properly placed. So you have to bear that in mind as I reduce them, because the first few times I did it, I kind of lost track. I didn't think about that, and I ended up having certain faces in the wrong positions, and I had to fix that up. Okay, so let's do blue, because blue I know is going to go on top. Okay, so off center, connect that blue center to this blue strip, back to cubic shape. Now I make these smaller strips. This one on the bottom, this one on top. Have this strip. Let's bring this strip closer to this layer to be able to then connect it to here. We have it here, back to cubic shape. And we have this on the bottom, so we could put this on top right here. And when we swap this with this, it's going to connect to this. We have this here. Next, we already have a strip here, so let's bring it into the center. And you know what? So we could do two moves at once. We're going to bring this into the center, but by placing it here and this here, this is going to come in and meet with this as well. So, okay, so we have this here, and we also made this strip right here. Now, this is on, okay, so this is on the bottom. So this has to be on top like this, on the inner side, and it's going to connect with this. Okay, now we make our final strip. This is on the bottom, this is on top, it's going to connect. And notice I'm doing, this is going to be the blue layer, doing it opposite green. Okay, so this is here, bring it towards the outside, bring this towards the inside like this, off center, 180, back, we have our blue face. And so I'm going to do the rest. I'm not going to talk through, I'm probably going to fast forward it, and then we'll catch up in the next stage of the solve. Okay, I'm down to the last two centers, and I figured I'll talk you through it as well. It's not really any more difficult than the rest, but I'm just going to show you briefly. Okay, so you can see we have this right here, and ignoring this that's connected to it. So let's see. If I place this on the bottom, and I turn this, so this piece right here, this center and this top piece, I'm going to connect with this. Bearing in mind that we have to do it properly as far as the color scheme is concerned. And now I bring this up here, this entire block, and it's going to connect with this strip right here, kicking this out. And as it kicks this out, it's going to connect it to that little corner piece right there, internal corner piece. So we have this entire strip, entire block, I would say. Here we have part of the strip. Okay, so this is it's the most complex part of the reduction, which is still fairly intuitive. Okay, so what we need to do is turn this towards the inner portion like this, so it's going to come here. We have to think, when this is going to be here, how do we need it to meet with this? So we're going to put this like this in this layer on top, so that when it comes here, it's going to come in like this. So if it comes in like this piece needs to be down here. So we position it in a way, let's see. In this case, we can't do it right away, because if we position it like this, it's gonna put this in, it's gonna cut off this piece. So we have to do a few moves. So the first step was gonna swap this with this, like this. Now the next step is, let me just think it through. Gonna bring this up here, like this and like this, to swap them back. Now we could place this down here in preparation to connect it with this. We swap it again, kind of like commutators with a 5x5 or 6x6, you know. And now we bring this up on top, swap them back, and it's going to connect to this. Okay, and now we put this here, bearing in mind we want yellow face to be here. Yellow is opposite white, red, so the orange has to be here. And we simply do our final swap, and we've reduced the entire puzzle. Now we simply do our 3x3 solve. We are not going to have the PLL parity, as we took care of that. We might have the single swapped edge, and if we do, I'll show you how to fix that. And even if we don't, I'll show you how to do it anyway, because it's fairly simple. Okay, so I'm going to start with green as I normally do, to do the 3x3 solve. Have the cross. Now we do the corners. Okay, so we actually, as you can see, we do not have the single flipped edge parity, and I am going to create it now in order to show you how to deal with it. That's, you know, it's fairly simple to do. So you can see the entire puzzle is basically solved, you know, and so let's create it now. Let me show you how to do it. Let's imagine this would have been the flipped edge that we have. The rest are fine. what we do is we do an M plus like this. From this position we do the Soon algorithm. So we do R U Ri U R 2U Ri. Turn the cube 180. I'm gonna swap this piece right here with this one by starting with the front face. Down, down, up, up. Rebuild the little part of it that was done. I'm gonna resolve the little that was undone. I'm gonna show you. And as you could see, we now have the single flipped edge, and that's how simple it is to fix. It's very intuitive. All you need is a Soon algorithm. And so now let's undo this. So now, once again, this is the flipped edge. And what this does basically is it flips the edge together with one of the centers. And the centers, they don't have any orientation, you know. So, okay, so the flipped edge, once again, that's on our right top. M plus, bring it up 45 degrees. Do the Soon algorithm from this position. Turn it 180 and down, down, up, up, starting with the front face. Rebuild. You see very little breaks apart by doing this. Just like one corner came out and one edge from the second layer. So and you see the flipped edge is fixed. So that's how it's done. Okay, let's continue with our 3x3 solve. You could see the PLL parity is gone. All the edges are in place and the corners are all where they belong. Now we simply rotate the corners. And that is how we solve the Sun Mom cube by MF8. It's an excellent puzzle in my opinion, and it turns pretty well. I have no complaints, and highly recommended. Definitely a more advanced level solve. And yeah, so that's that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And thanks for watching.